In today's Lunch and Learn agenda, the first item we want to quickly review is the importance of the intake and job creation screen of your job file. Then we are going to talk about the PSA job creation dispatch lifecycle, the history of where we have been, where we are now with our intake, job creation screen, and what we have done this year as far as enhancements, where we are going with the job intake, creation, and dispatch screen. Then, of course, answer any questions that you may have. The initial intake and job creation screen in Proven Jobs is the basis and foundation of everything that runs in our system. Dates, customer billing records, invoicing, job notifications, financials, you name it. So for example, if the information is not accurately entered into the system on intake, then your job notifications will not auto-send. If specific information is not captured accurately, such as date, or an employee information is not entered on job creation, then workflows could not trigger. Note templates could not be created accurately because information is missing on that job file and does not flow into the note template that was created. Work orders might not have the correct job site location information, and invoices may not have the correct billing information. Your work authorization may not have the correct billing contact information entered on them. Your intake person could not have captured the referral information on a job, thus you may not have accurately accounted for that referral, knowing where you are receiving your jobs. This job intake screen is the foundational key component to your job file and needs to be created accurately and efficiently in order for the process flow to work in our system. Let's talk about the history of our intake, job creation, and dispatch screen. Our job creation screen began its lifetime in our desktop system. Users could utilize our program to enter jobs on a server-based system. Our Proven desktop system was an accounting system and job management system all in one. It showed our users gaps on information needed. However, being in an industry where catastrophic events were the norm, the desktop system created a 24-hour lag where you couldn't get the information from the field to the admin team in the office. Pen and paper could get lost, and the need for real-time information arose. Out came our PSA system. As you can see here from our original PSA job creation screens, we had limited job entry intake information, but this allowed the user to utilize the PSA system to enter key information in on a web browser, which enabled users to capture information in a live environment and eventually send that information to the field in our PSA SmartTech mobile app, or the use of iPads utilizing a web browser. Over the years, our job creation screen has modified, and we have added additional details and the opportunity to define important key employees upon entry. More recently, we have offered our clients the option to verify the job site address location with our Google Verify, allowing the user to confirm job site address locations for accuracy. In addition, the option to allow additional views of referral information, as well as the ability to view team members on the initial intake. These options offer users the ability to not forget to capture this information on intake, as it was at the front and center and visible. Where we are now. Over the past year or so, we have added tons of development to our Proven job system. More specifically, let's review what has changed in our intake and job creation screens. One new addition this year was the added ability to modify your starting location on your map selection from the Job Info tab. Previously, upon selection, when chosen, it would default to your GPS starting location. Now, users can modify upon selection by changing the starting location to your desired address by entering it into the field, then selecting Get Direction. Proven Solution has also continued their integration within Circle this year, adding additional abilities to allow users the opportunity to create the job in Proven Jobs, send that information to Encircle. Once created, the Encircle tab would appear within the job file. This additional integration also creates the ability for clients to send notes, photos, and documents created in Encircle to the synced Proven Jobs job file, thus eliminating the need for duplicate entry. This option is also available within our mobile platform job creation screen as well. Another item that we have enabled this year and is also a great tool to streamline your efficiencies is the feature of Auto Job Create a job based on assignment from the exact analysis assignment. Company administrators will need to ensure that this feature is turned on in your company settings. This can be completed by navigating to Settings, Company Settings, selecting Integration, scrolling to Exact Analysis, and selecting Auto Create Job Based on Assignment. Users will also need to define the associated relationship record to assign to the job on import. A default company will need to be selected within the drop-down menu option. This can be created within your Relationships Company section. In this example, I created a relationship called PSA Job Create. This enables the system to create the job and associate it to a relationship customer billing record as a temporary placeholder. Additionally, in company settings, you will need to enable the policyholder feature by navigating to the Jobs section and selecting Display Policyholder and Additional Addresses. To further set up this feature, users will need to go into every job type and select the exact analysis type of loss. Still within this job section, select Edit Job Types. Then select the associated job type you wish to associate the exact analysis job type of loss. And in the right-hand section of this screen, within the exact analysis type of loss, the user will need to select any associated exact analysis type of loss that can be associated with the specific job type. This enables when on import from the exact analysis assignment, it will automatically associate the exact analysis type of loss to the Proven Jobs job type. This enables the system to automatically create the job type and associate it with our Proven Jobs job type. So for example, every exact analysis type of loss that could be associated with an emergency job type, you will need to select it here within this drop-down menu option. Once the job is created, users will automatically find the associated job by searching within their job lookup screen for the associated relationship, in our case, PSA Job Create. The job has automatically created utilizing the associated job type that we linked to the exact analysis type of loss in company settings. Once in the job, the only action on the user's part is to utilize the Update Policyholder button in order to utilize the job site address to create the customer, as we need to modify the customer billing address, as our customer billing address is not PSA Job Create. It needs to be the true policyholder of Wayne Henson. In order to complete this task, we are going to select the policyholder icon. Beside policyholder, a banner will appear to ensure that you save the job, and to import the job address, select Yes. And do you want to create a customer based on the job name? You will select Yes. On the left-hand side of the screen, now that the policyholder has been created, we can now select that policyholder to update our XA Job Create customer. Users can now update the items such as job subtype and dates if applicable. In addition to our auto-create jobs from XactAnalysis assignments, we also have the option to create a job from a Symbility assignment. Our Symbility integration automatically sends the assignment to our Proven Jobs system. Once in Proven Jobs, users, to increase efficiency, can simply create a new job based on assignment details. In order to complete this task, the user will select the Create Job option in the upper left-hand corner of the Symbility import screen. Another new modification to our job intake screen is the ability to apply the extended contact method option. This option is visible within job intake and your job info panel within your job file. Company administrators will need to define within your company settings this option to utilize this method. To complete this task, administrators will need to navigate to Settings, Company Settings, then select Relationships. Then we'll need to select Use Extended Contact Methods. Back within the job file, the user has the option to apply multiple contact methods and denote a primary within their contact sections. All staff can enter key directional information related to each contact method. These methods can also be utilized when creating log note templates and notifications from the system. These extended contact methods can also be utilized within our relationship section on companies or contacts. This brings me to my next slide, where we are going. In March of 2022, at our PSA Super User Group meeting hosted by Right Way Emergency Service, our super users got together in Florida and came up with their user wish list. Remember, one of our greatest attributes to our software development is our users' feedback. One of our top user wish list items was the modification of our job creation screen. With this modification, it was determined that the users wanted to see our job creation intake screen modified. The users wanted to see the screen modified in the sense that the user could determine what fields were available to be filled based on a selection from the user input that is based on a specific job type. For example, if I set my job type up as an emergency job template based on the emergency job type, the specified visible fields would only be available on job creation. Additionally, to further enhance this feature, the users wanted to be able to drag and drop the specific visible fields on the proposed template and also determine which fields would be required on entry. Once the fields have been finalized, the user has the opportunity to view the proposed layout, edit, or make modifications as needed. A job creation dashboard screen will allow the user to see the proposed screen templates at a glance. Let's take a look at this in our live environment. This new option will be available within our company settings. Company administrators will need to navigate to Settings, Company Settings, then select Jobs. Users will notice an Edit Job Create screen. Once within the Edit Job Create screen, users will notice Template Dashboard. Here we have the option to create a new job template, edit an existing template, copy an existing template, delete an existing template, or view the default screen template. To create a new screen template, select the plus create icon located in the upper left corner of this screen. Once within this creation window, we are going to define our screen name. In this example, I am going to name this template Mitigation Template. And over on the right-hand corner of the screen, I have a drop-down menu to select the associated job types that I want to devote to the specific screen name. You can select as many job types as you wish. Over on the right-hand side of the screen, you will notice the available fields for selection. The orange upper fields are the required fields that are needed in order for the system to save a job file. To apply a field to the template, simply select and drag and drop onto the template. Wish to make a field a required field, simply select the associated checkbox beside the field name prior to the drag and drop. Users also have the ability to utilize the search feature located in the upper section of the field selection box. This allows you to filter out the list of field names. Users can continue filling up the template until they have all their desired template fields laid out in the order that they wish. Once all fields have been inserted onto the template, select Save. Users can now preview the created template by selecting the preview icon prior to publishing it. If any modifications need to be made to the template, the user can do so. If a field needs to be removed from the template, simply select the X on the template field to remove. Once changes have been made, select Save, and then select the Publish button to publish your template. Let's take a look at the job creation screen and what that would look like utilizing the mitigation template. Once job create is selected, it will default to the default template. When tab is selected, it will automatically to the job type selection. And when the associated job type is selected, the screen will automatically default to the template that we have created for that associated job type. Then the user can proceed to entering the job intake screen per the template that was created. Our next newest addition that has since been released since our user conference is our redesigned relationship tab. At our same PSA user group meeting, our super users determined that they wanted the relationships section to be redesigned to better fit the needs of our users. In doing so, it was determined that the users really liked the functionality, not necessarily from a design aspect, but more of a user need aspect of our proven desktop accounting system, in which the user could view the missing relationships on a job file that are needed and know what fields are blank and what relationships needed to be filled in on a job file based on employees and companies. Companies now have the option to show all relationships on a job file. This can be done by navigating to Settings, selecting Company Settings, then selecting the Job option, and selecting Show All Relationships. In doing so, you can also further define, based on job types, what relationships within companies and employees are visible. To complete this task, I would need to further define this within my job types by navigating to the Edit Job Types within my Jobs Company Settings, and then selecting the associated job type by selecting Edit to open. In my Contents job type in this example, in this section devoted to limit to employee types, I can define what employee types I want visible on my specific job type. If I only wanted to show the contents lead, specialist, and estimator, project manager, and team coordinator, I could do so, and the only associated employee list would be available to fill in, and I would list them in this section here. The same with company types. If you only want specific company types to be visible on a specific job type, you would associate them here in the Limit to Company Types. Otherwise, the system will list all available company types you have defined within your database. Now let's take a look at how this looks on my job file. By navigating to my job file and to the Relationships section, I'm going to select the Employees tab. You will notice within the Employees tab, it lists out which associated employee that I need to fill in on this job. Once the employee is selected, the drop-down menu will appear indicating the associated employee with that specific employee type of estimator that is defined on their internal employee record. For example, it will only show the associated employee types that are devoted to the PM assistant role. The same with salesperson. Let's scroll over to the companies section. If I select my adjuster office, it is only going to show me the associated adjuster offices that have that type defined on their relationship record. The same with property management offices. When utilizing this option, it is a 1-to-1 ratio, meaning that estimator to estimator based on type, and you cannot add additional estimators on the job file as it is a fill-in option. This concludes today's Lunch and Learn and a quick recap of our intake, job creation, and dispatch production track from our 2022 user conference. I am now going to open up for any questions that you all may have.